love racing games, but how close is a controller compared to this or that?
Today we're testing to see if a racing sim can hold its own against an actual car on a real racetrack.
So to kick things off, we're here at our fine sponsor Micro Center's Tustin location to actually acquire our sim racing gear. So Micro Center, they have massively improved the amount of stuff that they have here. I mean, they have aisles of gear that you can go everything from a very basic first-time simulator setup to something which is honestly like this. It's $7,000, but it's gonna give you a fairly close representation of what it's like to drive an actual race car on a real track. For years now, Ken has been pitching me on why we should build a high-end racing simulator setup. Now, I'm a huge fan of track days, but they're expensive, they're time-consuming, I always break something. So if you could build something which could largely emulate that experience, except from the comfort of your own home, and with zero of the danger of wrecking your wheels again, well, boy, oh boy, would that be a great idea. Micro Center does have a premium sim racing bundle.
I mean, this is too good of a deal not to get, right?
I mean, we're doing the video. We gotta see how realistic a multiple $1,000 simulator setup is compared to the real thing. I kinda gotta go all out, right? Wow, what an experience just jumping into something like this. Now, mind you, I'm going on a fairly slow race car, and what I'm feeling through the actual steering wheel, the amount of like force I have to put on the brake pedal as I hop on the brakes, it's like, I can actually feel like the car getting loose in my hands. Okay, I got some practice to do, but I'm totally sold, man. This is absolutely it.
After spending days to build, test, and tune our setup, it's time to take this entire rig to the racetrack to see how well it performs against the real thing.
Welcome to Big Willow at Willow Springs International Raceway. So Ken and I have been here many, many times, but across that side, to Streets of Willow and up the hill with Big Willow, which we shot a video last year. This is our first time ever on the big track itself. It's all ours for the day. So today we're going to be taking my Audi RS3 head-to-head with the RS3 in iRacing. Now it's not exactly the same thing. The car in iRacing is a legitimate race car, which is going to be lighter, is going to be faster in the corners, but importantly, I have significantly more power. We're talking like 350 in the game. I'm pushing about 500 to the wheel. I still think the race car will be faster, but we might get kind of close.
Core takeaway is Austin has done a lot of practicing regardless to get the layout of the track. So now, let's actually see what the differences are.
And not wreck my car, because I don't have a reset button in real life.
Oh, jeez, your launch control is, oh, Jesus.
This part, I love this part, 'cause it's so like wonderful and sweeping.
The road car is definitely not as grippy, and you definitely feel the weight, but it is holding its own though. I think your power advantage might actually help even things out a bit.
Here's the thing though, I don't have the bravery. I'm going so much slower right now than I am in this sim. I can already tell.
Yeah, those Cup2s are definitely complaining.
Yeah.
Versus the racing slicks on the iRacing car.
Now that I've done my first practice laps, it is time to jump on the simulator and see how well it compares.
Funny enough, the setup is right here.
All right, my friends, welcome to our racing simulator setup at the actual racetrack. So let me walk you through it real quick before we actually jump on. Because we're using iRacing, you actually don't need an enormous amount of horsepower, but this is a very high-spec PC, so it's all AMD. So we're using a Ryzen 9 7950X as well as a Radeon 7900 XTX. We're also using an LG UltraGear 45, which is a terrific curved OLED display that runs at 240 Hz, something we can easily hit in iRacing.
As far as the Micro Center Premium Sim bundle itself, it includes a lot, including the CineQ 2 Pro base, paired with the GSI Formula Pro Elite wheel, which these two together are a ton of the actual functionality and specifically the feel of the car. And on top of that is paired with the Heiskenfeld Sprint 3 pedals, which are phenomenal, the TK Racing P1 Pro chassis, and we've opted to add a Pista gaming racing seat, specifically the Tony Kanaan edition.
So I know that there's like a huge amount of customization that we can do on the sim. Like what do you think we should be doing to try to get more out of the sim so that we can actually do the one-to-one with the
I mean,
car?
a lot of it is like actually now that you have your car here and are driving it back to back with the sim, little things like seat position or like pedal placement. And then obviously there are settings in the game and the individual software for our wheel, our base, and also our pedals to kind of fine tune all that as well.
I actually have a couple of ideas on how I can tweak the sim to be just a little bit more realistic.
So let's start off by putting a few laps in with the simulator. I'm also going to try with an Xbox One controller since it's just simply the thing I'm most comfortable with. And then we're gonna go out on the actual track and I'm gonna put a real lap time down in my car to see how realistic this entire setup is. So you know what? back to back, first impressions is that it actually is relatively close. Now, the race car has a lot more grip than my car, like not even close at how much more speed I can take through a lot of these corners. But I will say that the feedback I'm getting from the wheel is surprisingly better than in my actual real car, which is not something I expected. I will say iRacing does a terrific job of modeling this track. Like, it really feels exactly like the actual real track. One of the things I have a problem with is I have a tendency to push really hard in the sim because I know I can, but in the real world, obviously I don't want to wreck my car or break anything, all right? So it's actually a really interesting balance of how both of these combined actually kind of make me, I think, a better driver realistically. Like, I'm glad that I've actually had both of these. 3, 2, 1, we're ahead by 1/100th of a second, let's go! Wait, that was a 126. That was a 126.1. That's my fastest lap I've ever done in iRacing.
With my lap time set in the simulator, I'm curious, how fast am I with the controller?
Now, I will say the Xbox controller might have an actual decent shot here, mostly because I spent a lot of time playing Forza and Gran Turismo, and the vast majority of my racing games have been using the controller. Dude, it's really hard to be as precise with the controller. Like, I feel like I'm sawing back and forth on the wheel so much. What's going on is basically when I overcook it, then I'm having to like get way off the throttle and the brake to kind of compensate, which is losing me so much time. No, 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 no! I'm like 2 seconds slower with the controller. For me personally, I think the wheel is fastest. It should be a surprise. Obviously, this is an expensive setup, but it's not just the sort of the detail that you get with it. It's also just the fact that I've got that feedback, and then it sort of really engages my brain in a different way when I'm having to physically fight the wheel and really stomp on the pedal. Like, it's hard to describe, but it really sort of engages my brain in a way that the controller is almost a little bit like autopilot. But in a more realistic simulator like iRacing, you do need that level of fidelity and detail because it's not doing any of the assists for you. Like, you've got to drive the car yourself, which is a great segue to me driving my own car and trying to beat a 126 or a 128 or a 135. All right, my friends, it is time to hit the track for real.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was good, I like that, The tail does not want to stay tight, that's fine. Hard brake, downshift to fourth. Oh God, I'm so slow. Oh my God, I'm so slow. That was a 140.8. I'm over 10 seconds slower. Oh.
I know I can get closer to that.
Let the tail come out. Power, 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 baby. Swing wide again. More power through here. Way more aggressive line. Brake. Get down. Where's the apex? I probably missed it back there somewhere. All right, I'm gonna slow down a little bit. I'm gonna just be ballsy. And where's my apex? There is the apex. Woo! All right, that was a lot faster. I could shave more time, I know that.
How'd it go?
138.
138!
I'm 12 seconds slower than the sim and 10 seconds slower than the controller. I will say, driver error is part of that, but the bigger thing is how much more speed the race car can take. I guess I went into this thinking that the car was gonna be a way better experience. I knew that the race car was gonna be faster. I thought it was gonna be maybe a little bit more competitive with the car. But in reality, while I still, if everything else was equal and I had a track and everything all day long, I would still want to do the track. But this is expensive, not only for track time, also for tires, this is a very, very expensive hobby. And when you look at a sim setup, it actually kind of justifies itself a little bit if it means that you could be better prepared for your actual track days, or maybe get prepared for your first one. I'm gonna do a couple more laps, see if I can get any closer, because I did only 2 hot laps. I did 140 and then I did 138.
Well, there he goes. The boy racer himself, Austin Evans.
One more time, one more shot at this. I can do this. I'm not gonna end up in the dirt either. Oh, come on, grip up. Woo! I'm cooking it, man. No, abort. Okay, it's fine, that's fine. Too fast, too aggressive, not smooth enough. I've cooked it too hard, I was just overdriving the car. I need to be a little bit calmer, but I have 1 lap, this is it. All right, let's go. Let's smoother through here. Get down a little bit. No, that wasn't great. Oh!
That's not it. That's not it. I did another 138! I did another one! Oh my god, dude! I've done 4 fast laps, 2 of which are the exact same! No! No! That's it, it's a wrap. That's the end of the day. I noticed that the tires were warm, right? Like, definitely the tires have not been able to properly cool off, but that's not an excuse. Like, I was overdriving the car. I mean, look, this is incredibly cool. Like, it is incredibly cool to be able to have this opportunity. And it really gives me the motivation to be better. Like, I'm not trash, but I'm just not where I should be. Look, I did not do as well as I had hoped today. But on the bright side, I was able to go onto a track for the very first time, and with the learnings I had from the simulator, I actually give myself a pretty good sort of basis to start.
I am really impressed with how far sim racing has come in the last few years since I built my last setup. I mean, this stuff is so incredibly high-end and detailed, but the great thing is Micro Center is your #1 shop for everything racing sim related. Whether you want to go with the premium bundle like this, or you want to get something that's a little bit more entry level, Micro Center is absolutely your one-stop shop. And speaking of being a one-stop shop, they're also opening a brand new store in Charlotte, North Carolina, early 2024. So definitely be sure to keep an eye out for that. They also have some other deals I'll have linked in the description, including the Ender 3D printer for $100 or $99 if you want to be specific, available only if you're a new customer. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to Micro Center for sponsoring this video. And if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go get some seat time in the simulator at home. So next time I come to the track, I'll be better because I need to be faster.
High speed.